just as mad as you are. Tay got those rape charges dropped against my dad, and watching her grill your mom up there, it made me sick. What? Where are you going?
Get a gun.
Your Honor, at this time, the defense would like to call ex-Chief of Detectives John McBain to the witness stand.
Objection, Your Honor. This is a preliminary hearing, not a trial.
In order to have a trial, we need charges. I intend to prove that the charges of false imprisonment and kidnapping are just as bogus and ungrounded as the rape charge. Your Honor, permission to call ex-Chief of Detectives John McBain to the witness stand.
Okay, Your Honor.
I'll allow it, but you are on a short leash here, Ms. Delgado. Come to the point quickly, or I will terminate this line of questioning.
I will, Your Honor.
Mr. McBain, please take the stand.
I'm really sorry to drag you out today, but I thought we had to discuss this in person.
Is it Jesse?
Yeah. I just got a call from her therapist at A&OFanz. She's had a really bad setback.
Let me out of here! Let me out!
Give it up, Tess. They're never going to let you out of here.
I'm okay. Really. Today's a new day, you know? I feel fine. I don't really have much more to say. It's not every day somebody you think you know flips out on you. I mean, Jessica confided in me. She told me all kinds of things, and I told her stuff too. And she turned around and used it against me.
Jessica, the woman you confided in, has dissociative identity disorder. Jessica would have been discreet. Tess, her alter, she'll use anything against anyone.
Guess I got a thing or two to learn around here. What?
Do you want to talk about what Tess said about the little boy you see?
Oh my God! You got the Z-Box. That's great, because Shane has been working my last nerve. He's been promising to clean the bathroom and do his own laundry if he gets one. Oh.
You really got his hopes up, huh?
Yeah, was it hard to get your hands on one?
Rasco, you have no idea.
Your Honor, permission to treat the witness as hostile. Mr. McBain, when you were still on the police force, were you assigned to investigate my client?
Your client was a person of interest.
Once again, were you assigned to investigate my client?
Assigned? No, never assigned.
No. Were you assigned to investigate whether or not Dr. Saybrook was still alive?
No.
No. In fact, weren't you repeatedly warned by none other than the mayor himself not to pursue my client?
Yes. Then again, the mayor's an idiot.
So is it safe to say that your relentless pursuit of my client is personal, and that before Dr. Saybrook was presumed to be dead, that you and she were lovers?
Objection, Your Honor. Mr. McBain is not on trial here. His previous relationship with Dr. Saybrook is irrelevant.
Your Honor, I am simply trying to find out Mr. McBain's official sanction to pursue my client.
Overruled.
Mr. McBain, before Miss Saybrook was presumed dead, were you and she lovers?
I'm pretty sure that's none of your business.
Did you and she have a personal relationship?
Personal, yes.
Mm-hmm. And when you thought that she might be alive and living with my client, were you jealous?
Definitely not.
Not even a twinge of jealousy that the woman you were in love with was living with another man?
Not of her own free will.
You assume that.
I Don't make assumptions. There was no way she was there because she wanted to be.
Okay. When you obtained a warrant to search my client's home, did you find Ms. Saybrook or any proof that she was there?
No.
Did you let it go?
No.
No, you didn't. Why not? Because you hate my client, don't you? Because you're sleeping with his ex-wife. Because you once slept with the plaintiff.
Sustained.
So you decided Todd Manning was guilty, even with no proof of wrongdoing.
And again, I was right.
And you defied a contempt citation by pretending to hang yourself in prison, knocking out a guard and escaping, all in order to storm my client's home without a warrant. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's all correct.
So, when Ms. Saybrook finally saw you, was she happy?
Leave her alone! You got me out of that nightmare, and that's all that matters. I don't care what you say. I will find a way out of here.
This is a struggle you cannot win, Tess.
Oh, yeah?
Watch. The longer you stay out and keep Jessica suppressed, the longer we'll all be stuck in St. Anne's. You must let Jessica reemerge now. Bite me. How long do you think you can keep this up? A week? 2 weeks? Forever? As long as it takes to figure out what you did with my baby.
So apparently Tess was out, and she recruited another patient to help her escape.
Oh, no.
So they obviously had to restrain her and sedate her, and they put her back in a straitjacket.
Does Dr. Levin have any idea how to get Jessie back?
This all has something to do with Chloe. Tess keeps insisting there's something wrong with the baby, and she thinks that everyone is conspiring to keep the truth from her.
Cole, wait, you want to buy a gun?
If the law won't stop your dad, then I will.
But Cole...
Listen, I know he's your dad, and you still feel something for him, but they made my mom get up there and say that she wanted to have sex with the man that raped her, and the judge bought it.
I know, and I'm sorry, but they were going to make him
your
pay.
dad and that bitch lawyer will not give up until they ruin my mom.
And I know how you feel.
No, Star, you don't know how I feel. But I'm glad. I hope you never have to feel the pain that your dad has put us through.
Maybe they can appeal or something.
Can they really? How? This is not even a trial, it's a hearing. Do you know what that is? It's where the judge gets to play God. Not this time.
Cole, wait. It is Nora's job to make my dad pay.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding? That Ted Dell, what's-her-face, is mopping the floor with her right now.
It's not over yet.
She's already got the rape case thrown out. All right, she's trying to get everything else thrown out, too.
So you're just gonna give up?
I'm gonna do something.
With a gun? You have to let the system work.
The system sucks. Your dad is laughing at it right now. But you know, I don't care. Because I'm gonna kill him.
No, Cole. You can't.
Order. Order. Restrain yourself, Ms. Saybrook, or I will have you removed.
Oh, that would make this experience complete.
Marty.
Put me in a jail cell while you exonerate Todd.
That is it. No more.
Okay.
Listen, sit down. You need to sit down. You do not want Todd to win like this. Now, come on. Just take a deep breath. Come on, just sit.
Continue.
When you arrived at my client's home, what did you find? Was Ms. Saybrook trapped? Was she chained to the bed? Was she bound and gagged?
How did you find me?
It wasn't easy. No.
When you crashed through the window, did she say, "Thank God you're here. Todd's been holding me against my will. Please save me"?
Objection, Your Honor. She didn't recognize John, and she had no idea
Was
who
Miss
Todd
Saybrook
was.
happy to see you?
Initially, no.
No. Is it safe to say that she was frightened?
Yes.
Of what?
I suppose of me.
ABC's One Life to Live, brought to you by Advil Cold and Sinus. Power through your sinus symptoms. Ask for it at the pharmacy counter.
Speaks to her amnesia. Dr. Saybrook didn't know she
And
needed
then
to be
you
rescued.
shot the bodyguard my client had hired to protect Miss Saybrook. Is that correct?
Manning kidnapped Miss Saybrook. That made his guard an accessory to kidnapping.
Was Marty hurt in any way by Todd?
Physically, no.
Was she saying that she was in need of assistance, that she hated Todd?
Objection, Your Honor. Counsel is creating a false picture.
You heard the witness, Your Honor.
Overruled.
When you arrived to save the day, did Marty say that she couldn't wait to get out of the house, that she hated Todd Manning?
No.
What makes you think I can't take out your dad? You don't think I have what it takes?
That's not what I was...
Is it because my mom had a gun in her hand and she couldn't pull the trigger? Or because you're telling me no? You know what? I'm not you. I'm not my mom. I can't kill him. And when I do, the world will be a whole hell of a lot better off.
What happened after you shot Marty's bodyguard?
Let's go. Let's get out of
Miss
here.
Saybrook picked up his gun.
And what did she say?
This is ridiculous.
Your Honor.
Answer the question, Mr. McBain.
She said, stay away or I'll shoot.
What happened next?
We spoke, and I realized that she had lost her memory, that she didn't know who Manning really was. She didn't know
And
who
during this conversation, did she put down the gun that she was holding on you?
During the conversation, no.
And then Todd Manning entered the room. What happened then?
He wanted the gun from Miss Saybrook, and at that point, I pulled my gun on him.
Oh. And did my client, in return, pull a gun on you?
No, Miss Saybrook did not give him her gun.
So let me get this straight. Miss Saybrook had a gun pointed at you. You had a gun pointed at my client. Is that correct?
Yes.
So the only person that was unarmed in the room that night was my client.
Objection, Your Honor. Is there a question here?
Sustained.
If, Your Honor, my client was the only person in the room that night that was unarmed, who exactly is the victim here?
Marty Saybrook's the victim.
Your Honor, I submit the police report from the night that Mr. McBain invaded my client's home. My client was unarmed. Mr. McBain beat him senseless. He landed him in the hospital with serious injuries. If there's anyone who should be brought up on charges, it's the ex-cop turned vigilante, John McBain.
Yes, you could kill my father, but I don't want to see him dead, and I don't want you to go to prison.
I don't care what happens to me.
Well, I do. Cole, didn't we make a promise to each other that we would never let our parents tear us apart? Even though we said that while we were together and now we're just friends, doesn't that promise mean anything to you?
Yeah, well, that was before he kept her at his place and lied to her about raping her.
Yes, you're right. It was before that. And it was before our baby died, and it was before my doctor decided to shoot herself. But if you kill my father, Cole, his life will be over, and your life will be over, and my life will be over.
I keep telling you, no one did a thing to your baby. And I keep telling you that's a load of bull. Last night's escape attempt. Do you think that helped the cause? What do I care? Jessica's relationship with Lieutenant Levin is an important part of her progress. You used confidential information that he shared with her to attack him. That was cruel. I told the truth. He walks around here seeing some kid he killed in Iraq. And he tricked me. Don't take that crap. You always go to the wrong people for help, Tess. Says you. You hallucinated Nikki Smith to help with the birth of your baby. When you did that, I knew an important line had been crossed. Cut the crap, Bess. We both know you did something with my baby. So let's make a deal. You tell me what you did, and I'll let Jessica out.
What Tess said is true. That boy I killed. I see him everywhere now.
And when did you start to see him?
As soon as I got home. But it stopped when I came here and found out Shane thought I was his dad, my ex's kid.
I remember.
And I thought that was going to be it. I thought I was going to have this great life, this great family. No more visions or whatever.
And did they start again when you discovered that you were going to lose Shane to his biological father? You know, throwing yourself into a parental role with Shane may have been your way of avoiding what happened in Iraq.
I love Shane. I wanted to be a great dad to him.
I'm not saying you didn't or weren't, but is it also possible you're trying to make up for what you did to that little boy in Iraq? You know, if you don't face your guilt, Brody, the boy you killed will never stop haunting you.
I have to tell you the truth.
About what?
Well, I've been trying to buy Shane a Z-Box ever since we found out that his Christmas list only had one thing on it.
Yeah, and it's hard as heck to get your...
Well, that's not it. That's not all of it. You see, my charge cards were all maxed out.
I thought you were okay for money. Were you lying?
Yeah, I was. Well, I wasn't exactly lying. I was keeping my fingers crossed that even though, I was laid up and that I couldn't take work as a PI, the club kids weren't exactly tearing up the dance floor at my ultraviolet these days, that the club would somehow miraculously be turning a profit, and that part of the hospital bill that my insurance wouldn't pay for, that I would have to charge, wouldn't add up to the value of, say, land fare. I wanted to do right for Shane. But I was kidding myself. And you. Sorry, Marasco.
I was good with Shane. Better than I thought I'd be. I made him breakfast, I took him to school, listened to him. We played one-on-one together every weekend. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
And when his mom had to go out of town, it was all me. I was the only parent around. We were everything to each other then.
You were a wonderful father to Shane. He was lucky to have you.
I was lucky to have him. Got a card from him the other day, said he missed me.
I'm sure he does. But this isn't about Shane. This is about that other little boy. And it was war, Brody. The rules are different.
That doesn't make me any less guilty. Okay, I pulled the trigger. I killed an innocent kid.
You were feeling some of the burden lift. What happened, Brody? What happened? Did Tess get to you? Did she make you believe you'll never be free of that little boy?
I don't know what you expect me to tell you. How about the truth? I tried that, but you refused to believe me. So I'll tell you again. I did not do a thing to your baby.
Look at me! I am in a straitjacket and I'd still do anything for my baby. How can you lie to me?
The only one that knows is you and I, and I won't tell, and you won't remember. So that's that. No more chaos. Everything is as it should be. The baby's fine.
You said you did what had to be done. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?
I don't know why Tess keeps insisting that something's wrong with this little girl. She knows that Chloe's been checked out. She's got a clean bill of health.
Yeah. I mean, I've told her all of that, but she's just vehement about it. I mean, she went as far as to say the baby wasn't hers.
Why? Why would she say something like that? I don't understand it. She loves Bree. Why would she deny Chloe and keep insisting that something's wrong with her?
I don't know, Clint. I mean, being in labor is difficult enough when you're in a hospital with all experts around you. I cannot even imagine what she must have gone through by herself in that cottage when it was so cold.
Oh, I will never forget walking into that place.
I know. My poor confused little baby holding this baby. I mean, Jessie could have bled to death. Chloe could have died. So maybe Tess is just having a hard time believing that Chloe actually survived and she's perfectly healthy.
If your dad walks, he's just gonna cause you and my mom even more pain. You know he will. He never learns anything after he does his crap. I can't let him get away with this.
And if you kill my dad, then you will go to prison.
It doesn't matter.
Prison, Cole? Have you ever seen what it's like in there? Because I have. I've seen it a million times. I've visited my dad there a million times. You will not last in Statesville. And they're not going to send you to some place with grassy lawns or therapy. No, they're going to send you there. And I'll only be able to see you once a week, maybe. We'll have to talk with a barrier in between us. Would you want that? And even if you don't get killed, Cole, you're going to change. You're going to become a different person. And I'm going to lose the best friend that I've ever had in my entire life. And I can't do that, Cole. I can't lose you. Not you too. You're the only one who is in this with me. That baby belonged to both of us. And if you're not here, then I'm in this all alone.
when you swung into Marty Saybrook's bedroom on a vine or whatever, did you have an arrest warrant or anything?
I was prevented from getting a warrant.
So you acted illegally. I'm sure you were around the police force long enough to know that any evidence to support your claims of false imprisonment or kidnapping are fruit from the poison tree. They're inadmissible.
Get him up here, under oath. He knows what he did.
No more questions, Your Honor.
You may step down, Mr. McBain.
Hey, Judge, for the record, if I had the chance, I'd do it all over again.
Your Honor, I submit that if this case goes to trial, even if we could find people who didn't know the details of the case, even if it resulted in a guilty verdict, there is simply too much wrong with the people's case. A guilty verdict would be reversed on appeal.
Ms. Hannon?
Your Honor, Dr. Saybrook has no memory of her life before a few months ago. If she did, she would have died before she let Todd Manning take her to his house. She would have used any means at her disposal to get away from him. And under no circumstances would she ever have let him touch her. When Mr. Manning kept the details of their history from her, it was as if he tied her to that bed that she was too weak to leave. Thus, the charges of kidnapping and false imprisonment. But people feel very confident. They're certain, in fact, that we can make this case a trial.
Your Honor, before you rule, I would like to question Miss Saybrook again.
No.
Let's see if she really was being held against her will.
Okay, no. I have already explained that, and Dr. Saybrook has been through enough.
Well, I agree, but her testimony in this regard is important. I'll allow it.
Maybe you will, Judge, but I won't.
One Life to Live will continue in a moment here on ABC.
Mr. Manning, you are the defendant. I am the judge. This is my courtroom. Please remember that.
What are you doing?
You want to see this idiot judge see me freak out and put Marty on the stand?
You were good to her, Todd. When you found her, she couldn't walk. Now look at her. Don't you want people to know that you did that for her? Don't you want them to know that you never meant her any harm? That makes
Dr. Saybrook, please take the stand.
What am I supposed to do? Sit back and watch while Tara rips everyone to shreds and your dad walks? How am I supposed to do that?
I must remind you, Ms. Saybrook, you are still under oath.
I'm sorry to have to put you through this again.
No, you're not. Just get it over with.
Fine. When John McBain arrived at my client's home the first time, when he had the search warrant, what did you do?
Todd's bodyguard took me to a shed near his house, and I hid.
You hid from the police?
Todd told me it was necessary. He had me convinced that John McBain had caused my accident, and if he found out that I was still alive, he'd finish the job.
Did anyone hear Todd say this to you?
No.
In the 6 months that you lived with Todd, did anyone else ever come to the front door?
Yes.
Did you ask them for help?
No.
Had Todd told you that they were going to kill you as well?
Oh, I object to this line of questioning, Your Honor. Todd fed Marty a steady diet of lies. He told her that she couldn't trust anyone but him.
Make your point, Counselor, quickly.
Did Todd threaten to kill you if you told anyone that you were scared of John McBain?
No.
Did Todd hurt you physically in any way?
No, but
Did Todd prevent you from using the phone?
Here's the phone. Use my phone. Call someone if you want. It's okay.
Did he prevent you from walking out the front door?
You have to go right now. You have to get out of here before it's too late.
Too late?
Just go! Now!
He didn't have to do those things because he had me programmed.
Programmed? You said yourself that you were attracted to Todd Manning. You could have picked up the phone. You could have walked out the front door. You had a choice to make, and you made it. Because your wish, your desire, was to stay with him, wasn't it?
Even if the judge lets my dad off, it's not like he's getting away scot-free. He has finally discovered that he has lost everything in his life. I don't even think he has all of his marbles.
It's not enough.
No, it's not. It's not the best thing, but there...
Yeah, it's not the way you feel when you don't know what to do with all the bad stuff that's happened. I feel that. What am I supposed to do with it?
You can stick with all the people that hate my father. You can go to that hearing with me, and you can sit with all of the people who want my dad to pay.
And if he doesn't?
Then no matter what happens, we will do this together. I promise you that.
Your Honor, counsel for the defense has taken the literal facts of this case and distorted them around to suit her own purposes. Had Mr. Manning ever uttered the words, "You have a son," Dr. Saybrook would have risked everything to get away from him. But he didn't. He kept that information from her like he did the brutal rape that she suffered at his hands. He told her that a rogue cop had tried to kill her, and she only had to look down at her own broken body to believe it was the truth. He made her afraid to go out or to ask for help. That is false imprisonment.
If she was so scared, why didn't she call the FBI or the police? Your Honor, my client committed a hideous crime against Miss Saybrook years ago. Something Miss Saybrook could have learned had she chosen to access the information when the link was in front of her on the computer. My client failed to inform Miss Saybrook about certain things in her life, certain important things, like the fact that she had a son. But while lies of this sort are not ethical, they are also not illegal. My client, Todd Manning, has been tortured by the memory of what he did to Ms. Saybrook years ago. And he has wanted to atone for it. When he found her broken and alone, when he took her back to his house and cared for her, that's what he believed he was doing. His methods may have been misguided, but his motives were good. Miss Saybrook must have known that, or she would never have chosen to stay with him. Your Honor, I urge you to grant my motion and drop all charges against my client.
Your Honor,
That's enough discussion. Okay, I'm going to rule from the bench on this one. It has to be resolved. We'll have a recess while I make my decision. All rise.
I did my best. Honey, you were great. You really were really, really great. I don't know how she sleeps at night.
That was you leaving Marty alone.
She'll get over it. And when the judge comes back, this will all be over.
You know, Manny can walk.
Yeah. And what are you gonna do to him if he does?
I am so sorry for what I said to you earlier.
So it's okay.
No, it's not okay. I was upset, but I wasn't upset with you.
I know.
All rise. Please be seated. Court is back in session. All right. I've made my decision.
Why didn't you just tell me you were broke when you found out?
Because I knew you would try to talk me out of buying Shane the Z-Box.
You're broke and you bought him one anyway?
I sold my TV at the loft.
Your flat screen?
It was plasma, it wasn't LCD. Plus, it was only a year old. I got a decent price for it.
Balsam?
So I took the money, I went straight to the mall, but when I got there, every single Z-Box was sold out. Then I bump into Layla at the coffee shop, and she tells me there's this guy down on Angel Square selling them, but when I get there, guess who bought the last two?
Who?
Dorian Lord.
What? 2?
For Blair's 2 kids, Jack and Sam.
Sam, as in Tommy, Sam? He's just a toddler.
I know! He doesn't need one.
At the very least, they could share.
I know, that's what I said. Dorian wouldn't hear it.
What a bitch.
We kind of got into it.
Really, Rex? Ugh.
I think that was bad.
Do I even want to hear anymore?
When I was at the diner, there was this woman sitting next to me in a booth. And she left her packages at the table when she took her kid to the John. There was a Z-Box sitting right on top.
Please tell me you didn't. Did you steal it?
innocent child.
You keep saying that child was innocent, and all children are to some extent, but this one had a gun, and if you hadn't fired, you might be dead.
I try to think about it that way.
But it doesn't help.
Would it help you?
I can't trade places with you, Brody. You have to tell me how you feel.
Excuses don't help me. Never have, never will.
Is there something else? Is there something you're not telling me?
What did you do to my baby? Trust me, it's for your own good. Don't pursue this. Why the hell not? Because if we go down this road, there's no turning back. And I guarantee you won't like what you find out. You know we're right. You know that if you don't drop this, settle down, and accept that the little baby the Victoria Lord showed you in the hospital is your own, you will regret it for the rest of your life.
I am persuaded that Mr. Manning took advantage of Ms. Saybrook's inability to remember. And though I understand Mr. McBain's frustration with the justice system, that was not Ms. Saybrook's only hope. She has said time after time that she had free access to the outside world and chose to ignore it. Now, I am persuaded by the people's argument that it was Mr. Manning's lies that kept her from acting. But lying is not an actionable offense. Now, from what I have heard here today, Ms. Saybrook was staying in Mr. Manning's house of her own free will. I'm hereby granting defense's motion to dismiss all false imprisonment and kidnapping charges. I say this with deep regret. You are free to go. You are clearly a troubled individual, and I urge you to seek help.
The DA does not know everything that my father has done. Neither does Taya, and neither do you. He was going to steal my baby.
There was a time where I would not have thought twice about lifting a Z-Box from a kid on Christmas. But, as much as I want to be a hero for Shane, I couldn't do it. It's almost Christmas and I don't have a single thing in this world that my son really wants.
That's not true.
The truth hurts. But hey, maybe a new skateboard.
Aw, Rex.
And a new set of colored pens, so Shane has fresh ink for his latest installment of his comic book series. And uno, dos, tres. Got all the father-son sports bases covered. What do you think?
No soccer ball? I'm kidding! Balls! Come here, I'm kidding.
Okay, you're not mad at me for holding out on you about money.
You had a run of bad luck, and now you're in the hole. Big deal. I mean, look at what you did anyway. You sold your TV. You love that TV.
That bitch Dorian.
Okay, well, Dorian has to live with being Dorian. Besides, we don't need any stinking Z-Box. We have more than we've ever had before. We have you.
You end a life. It stays with you for the rest of your life. You end the life of a child. Tess was right. I'm going to hell.
No, Brody, listen to me.
I'm already there.
You cannot let Tess get under your skin. She has her own agenda, and she can be absolutely ruthless.
She's desperate to see her kid. I understand that. Sometimes I feel that way, and Shane's not even mine.
You look scared. Good. Come on, Tess. Forget all this unpleasantness. Everything will be all right. Let Jessica out. Let her go home. These little girls need their mother.
What's that?
Well, years ago I bought a Christmas tree ornament for Jessica.
You did it every year. I remember that.
And I thought it would be nice if we continued this tradition with little Chloe.
Well, that is lovely. Thank you for remembering. Come on, Pumpkin. Let's put that on the tree, shall we? Look what your grandpa got you. Isn't that pretty? Come on, then. We can actually hang it right next to your mom's.
All righty.
Welcome to the family, sweetheart.
Oh my God. Oh my God, what happened? Oh God, Tess, what did she do?
What are you saying?
My dad was going to take my baby, mine and Cole's. You cannot just let him go.
Your Honor, there isn't one shred of evidence to substantiate this
Yes,
claim.
there is. He confessed to me.
Stay tuned for scenes from the next One Life to Live.
On the next One Life to Live.
So what is it you want? I want to ask Natalie to marry me, and I need your blessing.
He was going to steal my baby.
If I'm Ray Montes, I find a way to come after the both of you.
He married her.
It's a big week on The View. Tomorrow, we're kicking off the holidays with Oscar winner Jamie Foxx as he performs his latest hit. Then on Wednesday, America's hot girl Jennifer Aniston on Life, Love, and her new movie. It all starts tomorrow on an all-new View on ABC.